I was born in Haguenau in Alsace, around 30 kilometers to the north of Strasbourg, a town with approximately 35,000 inhabitants. When I was young, my main hobby was gymnastics. I started gymnastics very young because my father was a coach. He taught at the Oberhofen Gymnastics Club. Oberhofen is a small village, but the club is at a very high level. He's still there, actually. From the age of about 2 or 3, I started going to the club with my dad. So, because I was often with him anyway, I started at the gymnastics school. All my mates from the village also went to gymnastics classes. It was the main sport in the village. My passion for cars and speed came about quite naturally. It came of its own accord. It started with bikes. I really loved skidding on bikes when I was a kid. Then it moved on to scooters, where I was always having to race with my mates and show them that I was the one with the best scooter skills. Then I had my first cars. It was the same principle. I soon realized that I was more gifted than most of my friends, and I got an incredible feeling from it. Where I come from, it wasn't even possible to ever imagine I could become a professional driver, world champion, etc. It's not something you plan. I started out in motorsports at the age of 22 with my very first rallies. I never had enough money to buy my own kart for go-karting, so I took part in an event called Youth Rally. For me, at that time, this was my only way in if I ever wanted to turn pro. This event is held in locations throughout France. Back then, the selections were made by the Federation and Peugeot. You joined by paying a €15 subscription fee, and then the best drivers from each region were selected to go to the Nationals. The 2 winners in the national final won a rally season pass. In my first year, I came ahead of 15,000 other participants. But for various reasons, I ended up not being selected. I entered the event the following year, where I dominated the regional selections and the national final, but was pulled up for a fault in the last heat. But following that competition, Dominique Hines contacted me, set up a meeting, and offered to help me start out in rallying. He'd bought a 106 Group N with his partner and their association. This allowed me to make my competition debut. My first race was a regional competition in Alsace with this car, and Dominique Hines was my co-driver. He explained how rally driving worked because I didn't know very much about it. First ever time, and we won our category in that first race. It flew by. But I still remember it to this day. It was a long time ago, back in 1997, but I have memories of that race I'll never forget.